Hello everyone, my name is Saurav Sani and today I'll be discussing unionization in esports, an increasingly important issue in the competitive gaming world as the esports industry grows rapidly. Many are questioning whether unionization could provide players with better representation, improved working conditions, and more equitable pay. So, what exactly is unionization? It's the process by which workers come together to form a union, an organized group that collectively negotiates with employers for better terms, such as better pay, healthcare, working conditions, and job security. Today, I will explore how this concept could apply to the esports world, compare it to negotiation in other industries, discuss the pros and cons, and finally offer my personal perspective on this topic. Let's talk about background of negotiation in esports. Unionization has long been a standard in industries like professional esports and entertainment, with organizations like the NFL, Players Association, it's called NFLPA, and Screen Actors Guild, like SAG, playing key roles in the securing fair wages, benefits, and protections for their members. However, in esports, unionization has been slower to develop. In traditional sports, unionized players benefit from collective bargaining agreements that ensure things like fair pay, healthcare, and job security. These unions have set important precedents for worker protection. In contrast, esports players are typically independent contractors rather than full-time employees, which complicates collective bargaining. Players often sign short-term contracts with teams or sponsors that lack stability and long-term benefits. This lack of securing less sparked growing discussions about whether unionization could provide better protection for players and improve industry standards. Now, let's talk about arguments for against unionization in sports. For unionization, like first, better working conditions. We have long hours and frequent travel can lead to burnout. Unionization could help players negotiate reasonable work hours, rest periods, and fair compensation. Many esports players are underpaid for their skills. A union could ensure equitable pay for participation in leagues, tournaments, and sponsorship deals. The third one is health benefits. Esports players often lack health insurance and retirement plans. Unionization could push for these essential benefits like those in traditional sports. The fourth one is job security. Esports careers can be short lived. A union could advocate for retirement funds or other financial security measures after players' careers. Now, we are talking what about the against unionization? It's freedom of contract. Many players may prefer to negotiate their own terms independently. Unionization could limit their ability to secure unique or high-paying contracts that are specific to their skills or specific brand. The second one comes for against unionization is industry immaturity. Esports is still relatively new compared to the traditional sports. Some argue that unionization could impose unnecessary restrictions on an industry that is still growing and finding its footing. The third one is potential for mismanagement. There is also the possibility that unions could mismanage. Players could end up in a situation where the union itself becomes more focused on its own interests rather than truly benefiting the players. Now, we are talking about the case study, the NBA Players Union. Like to better understand the effects of the unionization, let's look at a case study from traditional sports, the National Basketball Association Players Association, the NBPA, was formed in the 1950s to give NBA players more collective bargaining power through their union. Players have been able to negotiate in multi-million dollar contracts, better health care, and more favorable working conditions. The union also has a major say in league operations, which helps maintain fairness in scheduling, health protocols, and even dispute resolution. If we consider how successful unions have helped other sports, esports could potentially benefit from similar collective bargaining power. For example, a unified esports player union could demand improved tournament conditions, a say in game rules, and compensation tied to the industry's massive revenue growth. Now, the last is my personal perspective and conclusion. Personally, I believe that unionization could be a positive step for the esports industry, provided that it is implemented in a way that benefits both the powers, players, and the industry as a whole. While it may face resistance due to the industry's relatively young age and the concerns about limiting individual freedom, the potential benefits of better wages, healthcare, and job security are hard to ignore. As esports continues to grow, it is important for players to have the necessary protections in place. Without unionization, we risk leaving players vulnerable to the exploitation, while teams and organizations may take advantages of the lack of standardization in contracts. In conclusion, I think that unionization could have a significant positive impact on the esports industry, but it will require careful planning and compromise between players, teams, and organizations. I hope that this conversation sparks further discussion about how esports can ensure the well-being of its players while continuing to innovate and grow. Thank you very much.